Greetings and welcome to Mount Olympus. I am Hercules Invictus, and today I'm proud to bring you Torchbearers with Paul Dale Roberts. And his topic today is everything paranormal. Greetings and welcome, Paul.
Thank you,
Hello.
Hercules. We got a great panel here. I can't wait to get started.
I give you the scepter of command. The show is yours.
Right on. I'm holding it, it's invisible. Okay, on the panel tonight, we got some extraordinary people. We got Peace Kanuna Mano from Hawaii. She's in Hawaii. So let's not get jealous, everybody. We're, oh well. And she had a demonic experience, and you're going to hear about that.
Ooh.
We have Stacy Myers. She's a former HPI paranormal investigator, a podcaster. She's a Wiccan, a psychic medium, and an author. Hello, Stacy.
Hi.
And we got Donny Cho. He's a podcaster. I think it's called Says Stuff. And
Yep.
it's sort of
Donny Cho says stuff.
Yeah, there we go. And he's a
Yep.
paranormal investigator. Um, we got Vegas Paranormal. There's another vacation spot, Las Vegas. She's been on Ghost Adventures. She's a paranormal investigator, and she loves the paranormal. And what we're going to do is we're going to give everybody about 10 minutes, introduce yourself, little mini bio, and tell us what attracts you to the paranormal. And tell us about a paranormal encounter that you will never, never forget. And oh yeah, and listen, if you have any questions, like if someone's talking and they're saying something really interesting and you have some questions about it, go ahead and interject and ask away. So we're going to start off with Peace. I hope you don't mind, but we'll start off with you first.
Sounds good. My name is Peace. I'm a psychic astrologer and spiritual life coach. It all began from actually my interaction with Paul. I was going through a paranormal experience where I was being scratched down my back, and I would have witnesses actually see them coming on. I ended up with fang marks in the back of my neck. It felt like hot acid being dripped down my back. And at the time, I started losing everything around me. My kids started running away. I lost my job. I lost basically everything. It just ripped a complete hole into my life. And I never believed in any of this kind of stuff. It's not that I wasn't a believer, I was just never focused on it. And then the universe had other plans. Um, when I reached out to Paul, I was extremely suicidal. I had an entity that was trying to get me to commit suicide. At the time, I was living with a boyfriend and his two sons. And anytime that I would go around the kids, we had a plate of rocks with candles in it that flew off the table in front of the children, and the youngest one was crying, but Peace, I didn't do it. And I was trying to hold my composure even though I was losing my freaking mind. The home had kept me basically hostage. I was absolutely petrified of the home. It locked me out from the inside using like the chain from the inside. I had ended up having to climb through the window. Another time, I had just gotten home from work, walked in the door, and I heard a massive growl. And it was a growl I will never forget in my entire life. And I ran out the back door, and I couldn't even grab my keys or my purse. I had my cell phone in my hand, so I ended up not spending the night there. And then that's when I got locked out of the house. This went on for about a year and a half. I continued to lose weight. I actually got down to 109 pounds. And if you saw me, I am not a 109-pound woman. And it literally was sucking the absolute life out of me. And so I ended up reaching out to a shaman, and somehow, some way, the message was able to go through to her. And she was where there was no service. And I was like really willing to think outside the box. And when I reached out to her, I told her, I said, I was guided to you. And she flipped out and told me to never contact her again. At that point, I was losing my mind. I was losing my life. And I found Paul online and I sent him an email and he said, well, Peace, I can be out there in September. And I let him know, I said, hey, I'm not going to be here by this weekend. Like I'm barely making, like hanging on by a thread. And he said, you know what? Give me a moment. I'll be there this weekend. He's like, let me get a few people together and we'll be over. So he did. He showed up. And at the same time he's showing up, like all this other thing, all these other things are happening. And Paul came in and he walked around. He did his thing. We introduced ourselves, and there was no soul in my eyes at this point. Like at this point, like I was so not human. I was really being taken over by an entity that how do you explain to other people what you're going through when you don't even know what you're going through? So this was so far out of the box for me to have to go through this experience and then reach out to someone for an exorcism. And so his wife showed up who was spiritual, and then another lady, I forget her name, Paul. She was a Christian lady. So Roman Catholic, I'm sorry?
Tammy.
Tammy, yes. I even scared Tammy away. Okay, even after that. So, um, hi Justin, I'm Peace.
Hi, Justin.
Hello.
Hey, Justin. Oh, go ahead, Peace.
You're muted.
So when Paul came, it was him, Tammy, and his wife, and we visited. I told them what was going on. I even clarified what was in the email, and I showed them where I spent most of my time and where most of the scratches would come from. And I would go out in the backyard to try and keep myself sane and just do art. And I was sanding tables and staining and painting and just doing something, trying to stay creative so that I could stay alive. And so Paul went around, he went through the home. Even the curtains disintegrated into powder. So I had no curtains, which those curtains had always been there, and they literally disintegrated into powder. So by the time Paul showed up, I had to put sheets on the window just so that I could block things out. With that said, he went around, he was, did EVPs. It was basically hiding from him. And then it ended up being in the exact same space as where I do all my art. And that's where I would actually get the majority of my scratches. So it was like when I was trying to focus on something that was just keeping me alive, it was trying to focus my attention on it to consume all of my energy and, make good people do bad things. And it wasn't about hurting other people. I was literally starving out myself. And so Paul was able to get the EVP right where I sat and did all my art, and he performed an exorcism in the bathtub, and he actually gifted me some holy water. I will never forget that. And they left, and then after that it took some time. Next thing you know, I started getting astrology in my news or in my emails, and then I started getting um psychics in my news feed. So I started going down this rabbit hole. So going through that experience actually helped me crack the code. And because of that, this is the mission that I am on now. So I do help other people. I own the Footsteps to Peace because I had to go through hell to get here. And I warriored through, and now I'm successful. I got out of California. Paul did a YouTube video. It's Chico Dark Force, and that was a story about me. And I'm very grateful to Paul for being there. He got to see when I was going, like I death and rebirth, death and rebirth. Wow. So I am grateful for the experience to have gone through that, but one of the toughest parts of getting through that is staying alive.
Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely. What a beautiful story.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, Peace, you're a survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I found the phone that I have all the pictures in. I have not opened it. I have not charged it. It's my Pandora's box. And I actually found the book and I still have not opened it. I will not look at it. Of the timeline of events that were just back to back to back to back to back. I mean, water exploding, I'm thinking I'm being attacked by invisible bugs. And then I have a bug guy show up and he's like, lady, those are not bug bites. And I have never seen anything like that before. I went and sat in the house with the poison
Wow.
because I couldn't take it anymore. I'm like, he looked at my back and then I was losing my kids. The courts, CPS showed up and they were like, how do we know mom didn't just have a crazy night? And I was like, are you kidding me? So I was literally losing. It was like my world was coming down at speeds faster than I could keep up with. And by the time that it had unraveled, it was like a year and a half where I locked myself away. I gave away my car keys because I was petrified of like hurting someone or hurting myself because I hurt someone. So because of that, it was like this domino effect in my life. And I literally lost my children. I lost my home. I lost the love of my life, his boys. I lost my identity, my everything. And now here I am. So it wasn't all bad, you know. You have to go through hell to get to heaven.
That's right. That's right.
This is
Man.
very true.
So
Wow.
Wow.
yes,
Wow. That is something. Well, Peace, I'm so happy to see you here. And Peace is going to be on uh, one of my other podcasts with Staci, and she's going to be talking about her life story and everything else. So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I do too. Thank you for having me, Paul. Thank you for having me, everybody.
Thank you,
Of
Peace.
course.
We'll be
Yeah.
seeing a lot of you. So
I
don't
look
worry.
forward to it.
Thank you, Peace. Okay, the next one, we're going to talk to Vegas Paranormal. And she's been on one episode of Ghost Adventures, and she's a paranormal investigator. How you doing, Vegas?
All right. How are you? I've actually been on two, but one's already been aired and I can't talk about the other one.
Okay,
So
no problem.
yeah, so there's that. I actually grew up in Virginia. I moved out to Vegas about 5 years ago. Um, I've actually had an interest in the paranormal pretty much for, I don't know, for a long time. And really, experience really didn't start until, 2015. But one of the experiences that I had was when I was doing an investigation at the Nevada State Prison. Um, the week that I went, I was going through hell as well, because whenever, you know, when you're a YouTuber, if people knew you were going to investigation, especially in the group that I was in, they try to distract you from it, and somebody actually did. So when I went and did this investigation, I was very distracted, and the spirits knew that. So during the investigation, I was in the culinary area and I was walking up the stairs in the guard check area because, when there's prisons, they have these little, it's like where I don't know, like the guards stand and watch the cafeteria for the prison inmates. So I was going up the stairs in that and I was looking around. And as I was stepping down the stairs, my foot went numb and I almost fell. And I didn't think anything of it. So I was like, all right, whatever. And as I was going throughout the night, my foot was really kicking my butt. So I had told the docent, I said, I can't push any further. I was like, I can't, as of right now, I just can't push any further because I tried to push all the way up to the, whatchamacallit, death chamber. And then after that, I told her, I was like, look, I need to sit in the office. And I told my husband, I was like, look, I want to look at my foot to see how bad it is. And I ended up looking at my foot and I saw a bite mark. I was like, what the hell? So I didn't think anything of it. I was like, nah, no way, no way. So we went to the hotel room after the investigation was over. Of course, they had to wheel me out in a wheelchair because at this point I can't walk because I'm in so much damn pain. And we get to the hotel room and I check out my foot again and the bite mark's still there. So I took a picture of it and I sent it to the docent and I was like, look, This is a bite mark. I don't know why I got bit tonight, but it is what it is. She goes, "Do you know what happened and why?" I was like, "I don't know." The next morning, the bite mark was gone. So then another experience we had was when we went to an abandoned hospital and we were doing a paranormal investigation. And this is when I had gotten the cat balls, because this is when the cat balls was all, popular and shit. And I had put one on the floor. And as I'm trying to show everybody, hey, there's no one in here. There's no possible way for this cat ball to even, like even do anything, right? And as I'm saying this, there's footsteps behind me on my right. And I'm like, what is that? And now my husband's on my left walking, but I'm hearing the footsteps on my right. So I go to get up, and I don't know how I got this video, but there is an entity staring at my husband. And as I look through the pictures, there's actually five. There's the main entity, and then there's four behind him. And my last experience with the paranormal is that my brother went to Area 51 in May of 2023. By October, he is no longer here.
Sorry to hear that.
So that is my extreme, experiences with the paranormal. And what got me into it has been a part of my life, my whole entire life.
Wow.
That's all I got. That's all I got for you guys.
Vegas. That was enough. That was enough. Woo. Okay. The next one, Staci Myers.
Mine are all boring. No, I am Staci Myers. Actually an empath more than a psychic. I'm a kind of so if anybody knows what an empath is, it's basically if you know how people say you don't know how I feel unless you walk a mile in my shoes. Well,
That part.
as empaths, we do walk a mile in your shoes, and I really think that that's got to do with a lot of the problems that I have nowadays, because we're kind of like emotional sponges, which means that when it comes to paranormal, it's been part of my life all my life.
That's fucking
Uh, so it's been very interesting. I think it's taken a toll on me because just body wise, because I didn't know how to shut it off. And I finally was able to shut it off when I started becoming a therapist, because you kind of have to do that. I was drug and alcohol therapist. I graduated with an MS in psychology, and I was going to go into the criminal psychology form of it, but I was too old by that point to be able to do that. So I just went into drug and alcohol therapy to help people the best I could in that aspect of it. I don't know really about. I don't know. I've gotten advanced arthritis and spurs and degenerative disease, and you always get from the doctors that, oh well, you're too young to be feeling like this. And this was started majorly back. It started in 2006 that I know of, but it really reared its ugly head in 2016. So I am a chronic pain patient now, in a lot of pain all the time. But I really do think that me being an empath and not knowing how to turn it off has a lot to do with the physical health problems that I have right now. I don't know. I've always talked to ghosts. Being an empath, it kind of draws everybody to you, good, bad, ugly. So I've dealt with the demons. I've dealt with the nice ghosts. I've dealt with a lot of different cryptids. We do a lot of Bigfoot stuff. You know, just hearing and seeing, not actual, face to face encounters. That would be cool if we could do that. But I guess one of the scariest things, and it was only because I was a child, well, I was a teenager at the time. Witchboard had come out, the movie Witchboard with Tawny. What's her name? Tawny Katane. And so, of course, I had to go get a Ouija board, and my three friends and I were all sitting around outside doing the Ouija board. And I always went to the graveyard that was down the road from us because the graveyard is my kind of quiet place. That's where I spent most of my teenage years. Is that I loved being there. It was peaceful. It was wonderful. There was a freshwater spring that ran in the back of the graveyard, so I could go get a drink. There was a tombstone that looks like a bed, and it was always warm, so I always laid down on that. Or it was cool during the summertime, so I'd lay down on it and fall asleep in the graveyard. But we were all outside of my house, which was extremely haunted, and playing the Ouija board. And then the storm started kicking up, so we brought it inside. I had this candle that was about this tall, and it was a ghost with a tombstone. And so the wick came up this, and it was this tall when I lit it, and I put it on the window and we started talking to somebody who ended up not being very nice. He started saying some very mean, hateful things, and telling us that he was going to come get us, that he was going to kill us. And you got three 14-year-old girls sitting here doing this in the dark with just this one candle up there. And all of a sudden, the candle starts sparking.
Oh
And
shit.
yeah, it was insane. By the time we were able to, I was trying to yell at my best friend Mindy at the time. I was telling her, get get the, get the light, get the light, get the light. By the time she got out of her scared stupor and jumped up and turned the light on, I looked up and that candle had burnt all the way down to the window seal and burnt part of the window seal. And I was like, oh my gosh, it was trying to burn our house down. Well, we got a name and a birthday and from this guy. And I was thinking, I'm wondering if this, excuse my language, asshole that tried to kill us isn't in the graveyard that I and had followed me back from the graveyard. So we decide we're going to go up one side of the graveyard, go around and go down the other side. Well, of course, it's the third to the last one that we look at on the way back out of the graveyard. So basically, if you walk into the graveyard, his name was Vincent, and he was born in, I don't know, December sometime. And we looked at his name, we looked at the birth date, we found him, and I was like, you are a evil, evil son of a bitch. He lived back in the 1800s. And I was just like, wow. So that was probably the scariest. After that, you kind of get desensitized after a while, like the ghosts
You
that live
do.
in. Yeah, exactly. You just kind of get desensitized to it. And I often joke around with my husband. I'm like, I dare a demon to come into our home. We had
That
an
part right there.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? Because it's not going to have a very good time with me. I don't scare easily. I don't put up with crap from anything, and so we did have a pretty evil, horrible one that I had to kick out of my daughter's room. Kept waking her up at 3 o'clock, and and it tried to intimidate me. I kicked it out of my daughter's room with Sage. And I said, you can have the rest of the house. I said, you stay out of my daughter's room. You leave her alone. She's 22 right now. But I was like, you stay out of my daughter's room. You leave her alone. You quit waking her up. I said, or I'll kick your butt out of this house as well. And it stopped trying to intimidate me because I could feel it. It was getting handsy. It would punch me. And I was like, no, we ain't playing this. You be good and you can hang around. If not, get out and I will kick you out, and I'll just let everybody else that's here stay here. And sure enough, last few months it's been pretty quiet, so we're pretty good.
That's good. Staci, that's an incredible story. And before we move on to Donnie Cho and to Justin, um, does anyone have any questions for Staci, Peace, or Vegas? You want to interject anything? Uh, you're curious about this, curious about that? Let's say it now.
Well, Peace, what I was going to ask you is, do you feel like it was an evil spirit or do you feel like it was a demon? And where do you think you actually picked it up at?
So I um after all of this, I found out that the man next door had passed away and his son committed suicide
Oh
Oh,
no.
about a
no.
year later.
Oh my gosh.
And I
Double
felt
Wow.
I
whammy.
how I ended up being susceptible to it is because we have this invisible force field that's around us. And when we have
Mhm.
depression or, anxiety, you're breaking down that force field. There becomes cracks, right? And so
Right.
any like mold, it can seep into those cracks. And in doing so, it was able to just take over my entire existence. But I was also born with a lot of trauma. I was put up
Mm,
for adoption at 4 months old. I was in and out of foster care and stuff. And so, I opened myself up to spirits because when you're a child, you're very susceptible. So
mhm.
for me, I actually called in a serpent unknowingly, and I would have a serpent that would come and squeeze me on a nightly basis. And I would
Oh my
beg my
God.
sister, I would plead with my sister, please don't fall asleep, Raquel, please don't fall asleep. And she'd be like, okay. And then she'd fall asleep. And this thing was larger than life. And I could only see its eyes and teeth, and it spoke. And so I would be so afraid. I would go hide in the bathroom cabinet. And
Mm,
then my adopted mom would come in, and she was just as vicious as the serpent itself. And so, like, I've always been very susceptible because as a
mm,
small child, when you go through a lot of traumatic events, you call things in unknowingly because you're lonely and you're scared. And so anything can come in because you don't know to protect yourself. So I was
yep.
always an open vessel to all of these experiences because they go on and on and on throughout my life. This one was just the one that broke me down and made me who I am today.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it was a
My
lot of
goodness.
events led up to it. It wasn't like one specific thing. It was a lot
Yeah.
of traumatic events and a lot of like, hell, literally hell. And I had to survive all of it. And now that's why I do the Footsteps to Peace and I have my YouTube channel, Peace Unhinged.
That's awesome. That's
And
awesome. Yep.
Pete, you ought
Makes
to
you
be
strong.
writing, you should be writing a book.
I know. And with Uranus now going into Gemini as of next year, that's when the book can come
Oh.
out. It's definitely something that's in the works. Like I said, I have my Pandora's
Mm-hmm.
boxes, and eventually I will have the balls to go back and take a look at that. But it's like, to look at those pictures again at this point in my life, it's like a book I once read or a movie I once watched, and there's no emotional attachment to it. So, which is great, because now I can help other people going through their experiences. And I also
Hmm.
do ghost hunting as well.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
and I did the investigation over at your place, and I'm not going to get into details of it, but there was some things that were just shocking. And you're talking about a demonic case. I mean, it shook us to the core. I mean,
Mm.
she's just telling the nice part of it.
Yeah.
There's, it was extreme. So, but I'm
So
not going to get into all that.
here I was that day.
Yep,
Oh,
yep.
wow. Yeah. My goodness.
Damn.
Oh,
Bones
you poor thing.
protruding. Like this was the day that I met Paul. This was actually them doing this. They took this.
Wow.
This was on the video, and I just did a still shot because I wanted to look back and see like there's a
Yeah.
big difference between that person
Oh,
and who I
yeah.
am.
Mm.
Yeah.
complete
Yeah.
death and rebirth cycle.
And
So
how long ago was
Yeah.
this? Like how many
this
years
was
ago?
2014 and 2015,
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
going into 2016.
And see,
And
like I've been on a lot of demonic cases, and some are just bullshit.
Right.
But when it came to peace, oh, it was real. I experienced something that was very, very real. So
That's
yeah,
scary.
you know,
you can smash up every scary movie and put them all together in every scary
And
book.
it still wouldn't be scary.
It would not be scary. At this point, like, honestly, I'm good.
You know,
thank
that's how I feel with all the experiences that I've had. That's how I feel. Like I
Yeah.
could literally, there could be like 20 demons in front of me right now, and I'd be like, "What's up?"
Right. Exactly.
I did have an astrologer look at my chart, and I've had a few of them look at my, because I'm also an astrologer. I just don't do my own readings because you're, you know, as a
Yeah, you
psychic,
don't.
you don't do
Yeah,
your own readings. And they
because nobody else,
actually,
the universe will be a smartass.
yeah, you have to be really mindful of your chart piece because it's the demonics, it's the otherworldly phenomenons that can actually wipe you out. It's
Yep.
not what's going on here, it's what's going on behind the veil that you need to be really mindful of. So I don't partake in, I mean, I do listen to spirits, I'm a medium. Because of this experience, it broke open all of those psychic abilities. So I'm a woman of many trades when it comes to spirituality, which is
Can I
amazing.
can I say something?
Yeah.
When you have experiences, you do actually become mediums because I as well have had, you know, I'm into mediumship, I'm into all that stuff as well because of the experience. Like I can go on an investigation now and or even an abandoned explorer and the spirits will be like, "What's up?" Literally. I don't even have to go on an investigation anymore. I
No,
literally
you
went
can
on an
read the
abandoned,
wood.
huh?
You can read the wood by
Yeah,
putting your hand
exactly.
right up. It's the
Yep.
energy and the vibration, and you can feel where the portals are. You can feel where there's something that, and you just don't question it. You're like, okay, I'm not going to go in there because I'm not welcome.
Exactly. Like yesterday, we went on an explorer and I could hear the spirits talking, and they actually did come through on some of my stuff. And I acknowledged them. I'm like, I can hear you. What's going on? I mean, go ahead and talk. I already know you're here, you know?
Yeah. Well, you're much more in tune with the frequencies, but I'm the more, and then it also takes you to the other side where you're able to see signs and
Mm-hmm.
synchronicity, feel
Yep.
energy, being like I've been an empath my whole life. So, I don't want to feel other people's stuff, but I'll
I don't
teach you how to
either.
block that. I'll teach you how to
Right?
block
I don't
that,
want to
Staci.
either.
Yeah,
Sorry, guys.
I'd like to write a book. I want to get a hold of a bunch of empaths that have been at empaths all their lives and kind of cross-reference notes and things like that, and to find out if we are susceptible to, what I was saying, that it
Oh,
is
yeah.
what's causing all this, rapid degenerative disease and rapid growth of arthritis, and yeah, because all that energy coming in all the time.
Yeah. Well, I've been able to turn my entire health upside down and actually regenerate my body from it.
Yeah,
As
that's
you can
great.
see, as you can see, I went from
Yeah.
that to now healthy and doing really well. And I work with the health, in the health industry. I do medical astrology.
You go,
Awesome.
girl.
right on.
You go, girl. Own that shit.
I'm doing it all. There is nothing untapped in the spiritual, community that I'm not a part of.
That
So
part.
Right, right on, right on. I love it. Well, okay, we're going to take a little break because we're going to talk to a person, believe it or not, who's never experienced the paranormal.
What?
Well, that blows me away. And his name is Justin Beltramo, and he's a
Justin.
movie buff.
Yeah.
How
And
dare you not experience the
yeah,
paranormal?
Oh my
What?
Hey,
any of
God.
the movies that you watch, are they similar to what you're hearing right now?
oh yeah. I feel like I'm watching a movie. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm jealous, honestly. I mean, because
Be
I'm
careful
very
what you wish for.
yeah, no,
I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
I'm very open to having some type of an experience, and like especially an extraterrestrial too. I mean, it's but nothing.
Careful
My
what you wish for.
I know, but that's what I told my wife is like I said probably wouldn't come and attach me, it would attach on them, you know, and
Yeah.
my wife is very, she's
Open.
not into this world. She won't watch commercials of certain movies, you know.
Oh wow.
Paul's over and blessed the house, so yeah.
Well,
I think,
yeah, that's a good thing.
yeah, she's very, yeah. So I said that would be my luck, is it would attach to them. So,
Yeah, well,
Justin, didn't you just see the new Conjuring movie?
oh yeah, I went and saw it the next day. Yeah,
Was it good?
I liked it. I like the.
and that's all.
No, I don't give no spoilers.
Okay.
No
Just
spoilers.
spoilers.
No, I
That
like
part, yes.
I like the Devil Made Me Do It kind of better. The
You
last one.
do, huh?
Yeah. This one was good though. Like I said, I don't know, like I've learned a little bit about the true couple, their names from Paul, about how, you know, like how they were in real life. So,
Were
you know,
how they were.
how they were, you know. Yeah. But no, but the movie was great. I mean, I went by I had to go by myself. Like I said, my wife is no. She
Oh, did you guys hear Matt Rife bought his house? Bought the house?
Yeah.
on that
I
right
heard
there.
about
Damn,
that.
I
Yeah.
love that man.
Yeah, I think
He's a Virgo, like me.
that's
I
pretty
don't.
cool.
Oh, I'm a
I have
Virgo
different
too.
opinion on that shit. I'm
Who
not
is
impressed.
Justin?
No,
What?
Who's a Virgo?
I'm a Virgo.
John or
Donnie's
Donny?
a Virgo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, okay. Yeah, I look forward to hearing your
Just
story.
out of curiosity, when's your birthday?
9/13.
Oh, mine's August 24th.
My daughter's is the 25th.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah,
happy
I'm a
belated
13.
birthday.
Yeah. Happy belated birthday.
Happy birthday,
To
darling.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Happy
13
birthday,
days ago.
everybody.
Happy birthday to everybody.
Yeah.
Mine
I
was
had a
in
crazy.
May. I was born on Beltane. I'm a May 1st baby. I was born on Beltane, so already automatically I was born to be a witch.
Mhm.
Oh, it's
Yes.
just in my family. I've got Celtic witches in my
Nice.
Scottish roots, so you know, it's a family thing. That's why it's interesting to listen to people be like, "Oh, I've never experienced before," or "I've become, you know, an empath or whatever because of stuff." Because I've lived with it all my life. It's kind of like a given, you know. So I don't know the opposite side of it.
Well, let me interject here for just a moment. It's not that you won't go through the experience or that you're not going through the experience. It's not always a big blinking light.
Yeah.
It can happen. Okay, so something so subtle. I was working at helping some friends who bought an old residential care home or care facility, and it was a big, beautiful 9-bedroom home, very old, very Victorian. This was in Marysville, California. And I was over there helping them landscape because they allowed the residents to plant flowers everywhere and wherever they wanted and in abundance. So they bought it and they were taking it all out. And there was a lot of spirits in there. Like I was really like, going through it being in that house. And I remember Daniel had come out and he said, "Hey, Peace, look." And he put a blade onto a pole and he welded it on, and because we needed to cut out some roots. And I looked at him and he goes, "Look." And I said, "Daniel, I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse." And I went to turn around and walk off the step, and I got shoved back. And as I pivoted, I had two choices: throat or hand. I almost chopped off my entire thumb.
Wow. Ooh.
So it's little things like that that can be so subtle. They come out of nowhere, but I didn't trip. I was literally shoved and I could feel it in my chest. And I just turned at the right time and I had a split millisecond to make a decision. So it
Yeah.
can be little things like that, where they're dropping your, coffee into your lap, because some of them are protective in some aspects. There's the darker ones, which are demonic, which I've experienced. And then we have the other side too. So just know that.
Yeah. I mean,
So if you feel like you're going through a little bit of bad luck and little things are happening, it's not that you're not,
yeah.
it's not a big Beetlejuice sign.
Yeah.
You know, I'm actually dealing with that shit right now.
I guess Paul, he could probably second this. I mean, I guess that you can, in a way, I guess you could say I met death. Because back in April, I had my Widowmaker valve collapse, and I had a pretty massive heart attack.
Hmm.
but I made it out of that
Yeah.
one, obviously. And long story short, I mean, it did. It took me out. I passed out in the bathroom, and then I came to. But it's like seeing anything while that happened. I didn't experience anything. I remember passing out and waking up. But my doctor said I met him.
Yeah.
But yeah, but no, I'm like I said, that was in April, and I'm turned my life around completely since that. So I'm good
Well,
now.
and Justin, that may be also, you say you didn't get any, haven't had any paranormal experiences, but like
Yeah.
you said, that right there, and that you survived it, and that things happened in such a way that it got you to where you needed to be so that you could be breathing and talking to us right now,
Yeah.
and staying with your family. Somebody was watching over you, so something like a guardian angel
Yeah,
or a relative that just was on your shoulder that day and had that hands on you saying,
yeah.
no, this is it's not your time. That's
That's
paranormal.
yeah. That's what the doctor said. He said not only did you knock on death's door, you went inside and shook his hand, and
Exactly.
Hmm.
And you came back.
he said
Somebody brought
whatever.
you.
Yeah, and he said whatever you believe in, whatever your faith, or somebody
Yeah,
reached in and pulled you out. So,
exactly.
and like I said,
Exactly.
I am a Buddhist, so I mean, and I do have a lot more to live for out here in this
Yeah,
world. The people I live with, and my kids. So I got
exactly.
yeah.
Hmm.
They need you.
Even though she's old, she's 27, but she's still my baby.
Hey, my daughter's 22. My youngest daughter's 22, and she doesn't want me to stop dyeing my hair because she doesn't want it going gray because she doesn't want to think about being on this world without me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that shows that we're good parents, but it also shows that, it doesn't matter how old they get.
Oh yeah, no, and I haven't seen her since I've had the heart attack because she lives in London. So
Yeah.
personally, I haven't seen her, but she's moving back next month for a year. So, and then well, her visa's running out. She's been there for 5 already. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, no, like I said, I was actually, when I was going through it in the bathroom, I was sending out a text message to her explaining to her what was going on and just pretty much telling her, if you don't hear from me again, this is why. And, uh, I'm proud of her and all that stuff. But
Mm.
I think that's what, like I said, I got more living to do. So, I decided to come back.
And she's so lucky to be in London. London is
Oh God.
very, very haunted. I've been to
Yeah.
London,
She,
and that place, Tower of London. Oh my God, talk about haunted. Woo.
yeah,
But anyway, I'm sorry, Justin.
when she's into this world too, and when they
Okay.
being over at London, she traveled everywhere, and she went to the actual during the Nazis and the Jewish camps. I don't know why.
Auschwitz.
Yep, they went there. They did the tour, and she said they
Mhm.
took him into the room, which is, they call it the ovens, and they had the ovens, and she said she said if you're not spiritual, or she said you feel something in there. Yeah,
Hmm.
and that experience right there, that really turned her on more into like what you guys are really knowledgeable at.
And
Yeah.
when I was stationed in Nuremberg, Germany, one of the barracks that I worked from was Merrill Barracks, and Merrill Barracks was the headquarters for the Nazi Party.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and right in the basement were all types of portraits of Hitler.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Too much bad juju.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
she said. She said it wasn't good. It wasn't a good feeling. It was
Mm-mm.
yeah,
like
yeah.
wanted to get out of that area fast. But I mean,
Yeah, I
that's
couldn't do it. There's no way.
that's a hell of an experience to experience. So
I
Yeah,
got goosebumps.
yeah,
I know, right? I just
All
wanted
over
to burst out into tears. I'm like,
I
oh,
just got the chills.
yeah, no, yeah. But like I said, I'll see her next month. So
yay! That's
All right,
awesome.
our next person is Donny Cho. But before we go into that, I went to the mirror and I said Bloody Mary 3 times, nothing. Candyman, I said it 3 times, nothing. Beetlejuice 3 times, nothing. So I don't know if the paranormal exists or not. Maybe Donny Cho can tell us.
Oh, are we taking a
Okay.
break or are we going? Are we?
No, we're not taking no break.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess I'll go into so I guess I'm a little bit in between Justin and everyone else because I was always open-minded growing up. Paranormal was never my thing until 2017, 2018. And it was totally by accident. It was so random and by accident, it almost didn't happen. I was literally just helping my buddy out at his restaurant. We were roommates and he owned a restaurant. And like on the weekends, he was short staffed. So I would help him work, free of charge because he was my best friend. And so, and every night, my apartment was like right next to his restaurant. And even on the nights I wasn't working, I would just go there and just get, free dinner. And we hang out in the back. And it was a Mongolian grill, by the way, in case you were wondering.
Yeah.
He had you know how like the restaurants, they have the TVs going, right? But they lost the remote. So the channel was always stuck on the travel channel. And it was just ghost shows all day long, right? We had no option. When the game would be on, someone would be like, "Hey, come on, where's the remote?" And we're like, "We can't find it." So it would just be there all day, and I would be sitting there every day, having dinner, hanging out with my buddy, or hanging out with the workers, or working myself. Until one day, I was just like watching the show, all bored one day, and I'm like, "Man, are ghosts real?" And I started thinking about it. To me, the reason why I got initially interested in it was the philosophical implications of just, if ghosts are real, what does that say about our reality? And then I started going into, listening to podcasts, watching other shows, reading up on it, and started to realize that, I've always been interested in the topic of spirituality my whole life. Studying like things like Zen Buddhism and, like some of those esoteric secret schools that people like to read about, right? I started getting really interested in those, the ancient mystery schools and all that. So when I started watching these shows and getting into the topic of paranormal, something clicked in me where it was my love for, I guess, philosophy and ancient mysteries. But the paranormal was like the real life application. It was like you have all these theories, but now you're taking it into the battlefield. Kind of like, imagine if you were someone who studied martial arts your whole life, but then every day you spent in a dojo, right? But you never actually got into a fight. Whereas like paranormal investigations and people who did get into paranormal, you would take that spiritual knowledge and spiritual teaching and actually take it out as a real life application. Take it out into the battlefield, put it to the test. That was my original interest in it. Like I just randomly I'm one of those people who gets very interested in a topic like very suddenly, but then I just dive right in, right? And I'll do that every few years. But the thing that was significant for me was that as soon as I started getting interested in the paranormal, then all this paranormal stuff started happening to me.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the timing. Like the very night that light bulb clicked in my head at my buddy's restaurant where I was like, are ghosts actually real? What does that mean? And then I remember that night because my buddy was like right afterwards, hey, you want to go out to the bar and hang out? So we went to the bar. It was a great night. Nothing too crazy. It was just down the street from where we lived. Went back home, went to bed. And then I had my first sleep paralysis experience in years since childhood.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's scary.
And again, it was the timing that was the craziest part.
Yeah.
And so ever since then, I just started getting involved in these podcasts. I would just go on these live streams in the chat and participate. And eventually, I guess people would invite me on their shows. And then one thing led to another. I started going on other people's shows. Then I started my own show. And then, yeah, I've been doing this kind of paranormal. It's really more of a comedy show. But that leads into my philosophy because that was one of the conclusions that I've reached is one of the weapons you develop against these kinds of spiritual attacks is you have to build up a strong sense of humor in a respectful manner, like, not mocking or denigrating anyone. And that's not easy to do, but it's important to do because let's face it, guys, there's too many people in this field who just take themselves way too seriously.
Right.
That could be a real Achilles heel for a lot of people. So that's where I'm at. Although nowadays I'm less in the paranormal side, and because Paul knows like the people that I associate with in this community, I'm more on the cryptid side now because most of my friends are all on the cryptid side. So it's mostly like Bigfoot and Dogman and all that nowadays.
Awesome.
Some paranormal stuff. Like we just went on an investigation last week in Missouri, and Ray County Museum in Richmond.
Oh, okay.
Have you ever been there?
No, I haven't been there yet.
That place is haunted. That place is haunted AF.
Awesome.
And yeah, that's pretty much me.
It's haunted AF.
Yeah.
We got it. Okay, Hercules. He's letting us know we're getting close. So I think maybe everybody can tell us how we can contact you. So, Donny, how can people contact you?
Donny Cho Says Stuff is my YouTube channel. You can just contact me there, and then you'll have my links and my contact info there. You can just message me, or just look me up on Facebook, Donny Cho, and just message me there. There aren't too many of us, so I'm fairly easy to find.
Okay, thank you very much. Peace, how can people contact you?
Either through Peace Unhinged on YouTube, otherwise through my website at thefootstepstopeace.com, or through Facebook, Peace Kanuna Mano, or The Footsteps to Peace, or Peace Unhinged.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Staci, how can people reach you?
StaciKB@gmail.com, Stacy Myers on Facebook, through Messenger, and I have a TikTok, but I'll have to send that to you, Hercules, so you can put it down on there because I don't know what the exact thing is for my TikTok.
Anything you want on the description on the YouTube when it goes up tomorrow, if you can send it to me directly or give Paul permission to send it, I'll include it there in case you want it there.
Yeah, Stacy, I'll have you directly send it to Hercules. You send it to me. Okay. All right, Justin, how can people reach you?
I just have Facebook and Instagram. On Facebook is Justin Beltramo. That's it. My Instagram is Justin_420.
Nice.
Yeah, that one's mostly my tortoise and my work. So
Okay.
yeah.
Not OnlyFans, right?
No, not that one. That one's yeah.
We'll put his OF at the bottom there.
Yeah.
We need to get Justin out on a paranormal investigation.
No,
That's what we need to do.
I always tell Paul that I need to go with him on one because I see Paul quite a bit. So I don't know, like we're next door neighbors. So so I always keep on trying to go on him, but it's sometimes the schedule doesn't. But I'm very open to it. I want to go see that Mule Creek. I heard that one's a really good tour. The prison.
Oh yeah.
In Ione, I believe. Yeah.
And I've gone on a few investigations with people who are like kind of new and never had any experiences. And from my own experience, they get messed with sometimes the hardest.
They
by the
truly
spirits.
do.
Oh, yeah.
They truly do.
They get messed with bad.
Yeah.
Paul, you need to take them to someplace like really, really good.
I in my head, I want it to be in my experience to be kind of like the movie Frighteners, where with Michael J. Fox, where it's a lot of more friendly ones than bad ones. Like you said, with the sense of humor. So
Well, you have to go in there with the attitude of I don't want to be messed with, and then they will mess with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so funny is because I have all these people that want me to get back to investigating so we can go on these adventures again. But I'm enjoying podcasting so much. I've sort of retired from paranormal investigating, so I like podcasting now.
You never
Well, that's
retire
good.
from investigations. If the spirits want to interact with you, the spirits are going to interact with you.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's funny that you said that because just recently I had, and I told Justin about it. I had an investigation in Elk Grove. So, and Elk Grove was like 15 minutes from my house. Okay, Vegas Paranormal. How can people contact you?
I'm on YouTube as Vegas Paranormal. I'm on TikTok as Vegas Paranormal. And I'm on Facebook as Vegas Paranormal. I made it simple because a lot of people don't do YouTube, a lot of people don't do Facebook, and a lot of people don't do TikTok, and everybody does everything. So, and this picture is the bite mark I was showing you guys. I was telling you guys
Oh
about
wow.
Oh
on my
man.
foot.
Yikes.
And then the next morning, it was gone.
That's
Wow.
definitely my bite mark.
Yeah,
So-
that's insane.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear more about cryptids, Donnie. I'm gonna have to get on your. I'm so into cryptids right now. It's not. Yeah.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
You know what? The next show, let's do cryptids.
Yeah, let's do this again.
Yeah,
yeah.
that'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, are we all saying bye?
We have 3 minutes.
We got 3
is there
minutes.
anybody who hasn't shared the contact information?
Well, everybody knows how to get a hold of me. You can Bing or Google me, Paul Dale Roberts. If you want to see my books, Paul Dale Roberts Books. And I recently got contacted by the Mormon Church in Utah. They're taking my digital books, which I was
Nice.
shocked.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, I sent them my first digital book. They're going to put it in their library. Yeah.
Well, don't let them
Congratulations,
get a
Paul.
hold of your OF, Paul.
Huh?
I said, don't let them get a hold of your OF, Paul.
Yep. All right. Yeah, so next show we'll do cryptids. We'll talk about Bigfoot, Mothman. Sacramento at the Tower Bridge, Mothman was seen. So a lot of people are not even aware of that, but if you Google Sacramento Mothman, all the information pops up.
Awesome.
Nice.
So we'll rename this show All Things Paranormal. And I look forward to having you all on board again next month and for whatever number of months afterwards you guys want to meet.
Cool.
This will be set aside for you.
Nice.
That'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
We'll keep the same team.
Awesome.
Nice.
All right,
Bet.
You
cool.
got to find a team name and we'll follow your team adventures. That'll be cool.
We could be the P team.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, I feel like we were just getting started.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Next time, Johnny or Donnie goes first.
Okay.
Okay. All
There
right.
you
do that.
go.
I'll try
It
to
was
have a
nice meeting
story.
all of you that
Yeah.
I have not met before. Nice seeing all of you guys again. Hugs, kisses.
And
Bye,
we're gonna
guys.
see. We're gonna
Thank
see
you.
Peace real soon.
All right.
Yeah, Peace is scheduled in November.
Okay,
Awesome.
sounds good.
All right.
11/11.
All right, have a good rest of the night, guys.
You
Good night,
too.
guys.
Bye, guys. Thank
Joyous
you.
journeys and amazing adventures. Until next time, this is Mount Olympus signing off.